Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with the Pirate Uberallis mod. For those that are wondering, this is actually turn 49. Last time around we fought the Crimeans because the Crimeans decided to fight us. They sieged Kiev in Ukraine twice, and then we fought them at the battle here at the river, and then there was an outer assault at the capital. However, we've not been able to pacify the enemy, as we can see here. There's a revolt going on. There's not a lot of them. There's only 5 units, which is quite disappointing that that's the only thing they're able to bring up. However, there are bigger worries right now for the Swedish state. Currently, the Russians are actually on the way to recapturing Moscow. Their troops are the raiding parties going around, and it's been raiding quite a bit, as we can see here. But now we actually have an actual army on the way to lay siege to Moscow, and more troops to come. Gonna get this spy to get up here as well to keep a lookout at what's going on. Just happened to be down here and noticing, oh, is he gonna cross here? Maybe I should actually follow that force instead. Right, but that's not all of it. Now you might think, okay, is it the Austrians that have declared war on you again? No, the Austrians are occupied with the French, and the French are occupied with them. Who has then declared war on me? Well, the Ottomans, last turn, took Transylvania from the Transylvanians, and then immediately upon getting a border with me, they decided to declare war. So we've got an Ottoman force crossing through here from the Vampire Mountains on the way down to Ukraine. And wow, that's how I pronounce it. Wow, what a place. Luckily I kept Armfelt in Warsaw, Poland, compared to Warsaw, Pennsylvania. I don't know, there's probably one in the United States somewhere, or at least one, maybe multiple. So he is able to march up, and he's gonna be able to thwart this attack. There's a quite a small force, and then I could actually continue into the Ottoman territory and smite the enemy that's holding up Transylvania, making it easier for the Transylvanians. I wouldn't actually take the city. I would hopefully only make it easier for the vampires to take back the territory. Also, the Greeks have spawned. They have had their own revolution and has fought off the Ottomans. So they've risen. But at the same time, the thing is, this part of Ottoman expansion is not something that comes out of anywhere. Because the Ottomans now... Oh, Venice turned back to Venice. Okay, so Venice have risen again. The Ottomans took Venice, and they also took Rome. So I guess they are the heirs of the Roman Empire, if you will. Clearly they've been able to bring I don't know how they get... why the Austrians allow them to go through and then fight the Venetians and Rome. The Venetians are back, so that means the Ottomans are kind of cut off here. They do have a port here. One thing that I hate about Napoleon Total War, the sort of central Roman state that doesn't actually have a port. Each area, definitely, that is coastal province, needs a port. Especially if you're modding in to have special small nations. Everyone needs a port so you can trade and so on. For no other reason perhaps than for me to make money out of it. We're gonna have our spy go ahead and take a look. A little bit. Oh, there's a bloody fort here that we completely missed. We do note that there is a secondary force coming up through the mountains there. Uprising, yes, this is the Crimean uprising. Trade agreement with the Ottoman Empire, of course, broken, which is terrible. because I was making so much of trading with the Ottomans. I don't know why they decided to go ahead and think they were gonna fight me. We have a royal observatory, which is good. It does breathe a lot of unhappiness for the nobility. They hate it. They hate progress because it might upset the balance of power and cast them down in favor of another social class. There's been lots of raidings by the Russians, a new state, tribe somewhere, God knows where, do not care. A new agent, a nobleman. Since this area is coming under heavy attack, I decided to send that guy over to Krakow instead. So he's gonna study in Poland instead of the Russian university. I've also moved the priests out further than I did before. So initially I had the plan of they would go all in a group and hit the same area, and hopefully it would quickly be able to turn province by province. I did realize that their bonuses doesn't stack that high, so I think it's actually better to put one priest in each province to maximize the amount of potential that we can add per turn. So I've sent them out, and also I'm not bothering going 100% Protestant just until the point that we get no unrest from it. So currently we've pushed forward to Kurland, which is going to switch pretty darn soon. No religious unrest there, and then going through here. And then also I sent one priest all the way down to Crimea, because Crimea has a lot of religious unrest besides resistance of foreign occupation. So we'll hope that that is going to change rather rapidly. Now, what can we do? Well, we cannot strike here, and it's better to stay within the fort than to sally forth. One thing that I could do here is I could purchase cannons to keep in the fort for canister work if they're able to actually seize the walls. Besides that, because we have now lost the trade with the Ottomans, and we were forced to move the trade fleets away from the East Indies because of the Russians there, means that we've lost quite a bit of trade income. So I've fallen down to making about 7,000 per turn, which means that we're gonna have to raise the taxes. So if I raise them like that, I now make 11,000 per turn. We still make a decent amount of growth, and the good thing here is that we keep making this growth, because situations like we are in right now is precisely what the previous policies have been trying to mitigate. That when trade falls, we have been boosting the economy by low taxes, or boosting the wealth generation of the provinces. So the ones I do need to tax them, there is a higher amount of money to do that from. But you can see that you know, the loss from technological advance has really stifled military technology. We're 50 turns into the campaign, and I've only got 4 military technologies, actually, if you don't count the 5th here for the Navy. The Navy doesn't give minus points, though, so... normally I probably would have been quite a bit down the line here in terms of military technology. Right, but what we can do this turn is we can smite this little force and set the King's army on the move to go ahead and relieve the siege at Moscow, which hasn't even started, but we're gonna move as soon as possible anyways. 1,200 men against 7,000. That's an easy out result. Still lost 500 men in the process. And with that, the king can continue on his way. Now, I would have liked to stay and make sure that... Oh! I thought the king being garrisoned there would have had a bigger effect, or him leaving there. But the area is neutral. I do have 2 units of infantry that was going to join the king and add troops to that. But I think we'll move these over here instead, and then the king will have, he needs 3 turns, so I'm pretty sure Moscow can hold out for at least 4 turns if they go ahead and set the siege right away. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure the Russians gonna take quite a while. Interesting here, there's a road that I just noticed there that goes through here and then just ends at the border right ahead of this school. And then there's nothing continuing on here besides... Oh, there's actually a tiny bit of road going through here. And this bridge leads to nowhere. And there's a bridge that's just in the middle of nowhere as well. It would be cool maybe if you could have... Similar how you can, you know, construct forts. That you could perhaps build temporary pontoon bridges and stuff. Or bridges in general. Or maybe that there would be... I think I talked about this before. That as you were upgrading roads, that it not only would make it so you move faster, but it would actually open up more roads that would cover more of the area. Like for instance, I talked about this province before, like there's no roads connecting to the south here. It's just a big wood without nothing. I don't know about historically about this area. Maybe there were no roads. Maybe no one lived in Belarus besides hungry wolves lived out here. Who knows? Anyways, if we are gonna go ahead and deal with our enemies, we better start ending turns. So let's go ahead and do just that. Another priest? I've got so many bloody priests. I think I've got a priest almost in every single area, but I guess going towards Crimea is probably the best bet right now. What they did here, they placed a general in charge of this army, but I think they actually switched the army. So the army that actually did the first incursion is over here, and then the half of the force that was in here, they made a big switch. Anyways, road blocked for Armfelt, because yeah, this. And then the king is also apparently blocked. The Russian, I've gone ahead and laid siege, and the siege is going to last for 4 turns, unless the king arrives, and it's going to be just in time, it looks like. Successful operation, city is besieged, fleet has arrived. Ah, then we can go ahead and fight the Russian navy, and I can see about getting auto resolve for naval battles is always so silly. I feel like if I do it myself, it's probably going to be more cost effective, because I can cut the sails before they're even able to approach me, and then I can carry the ships and sell them, and with minimal losses to me, but it will take considerable amount of time to do the battle, so it might be easier just to auto-resolve. But then I might inflict too much damage on my ships, so even though it's going to take a little bit longer for us, I think option... wait, which one did I say first? Or second? Or which option is for me to fight it? Because that's what I'm gonna do. Right. Enough talking about that. Let's go ahead and just do it. Right. The battle went a lot faster than I thought. I thought it was going to take quite a while to get this done, but it actually only took me about 5 minutes. We carried all the ships. It's going to net me 5,000. I wonder though if capturing them would be better, because I could set them onto the trade nodes and I would make money, you know, through just having all these trade ships here. But I'm gonna go for just the prize money. Right, now I know there's more enemy navies, but they're hiding here. Oh, there's Danish navy. So I don't know how. I'll try and there's the Russian one. Wait, why am I getting the same things as happened kind of last time around? Here's a mines being built. And he's a 3-bottle man. Which means wine merchant. Right, well, we found one Russian, an additional Russian ship out here. Which is a 5th rate. It's actually a trade 5th rate. How does that work? It's a single ship. This is an auto resolve. Oh yeah, god damn it. I shouldn't have done that. I've probably lost quite a few cannons. And got a lost of crew compared to the previous one. God damn it. I'm sure there's might be more up there. But we're gonna have to check up there later on, but I don't have the movement space or movement range. So what I'll do though is it's time to send these guys back. So we'll obviously lose a little bit of trade again. So it drops us down a bit, but I just picked up a load of money from selling those enemy ships, so that's good. Right. Oh yeah, there wasn't actually an end turn, it was just me attacking. Why did it give me all of these things again? Oh yeah, you can march on. Oh, you have, yes, you have maneuvers now. You can maneuver, so you can attack. I was about to say, let's end turn again. We can fight the Ottomans in the mountains here before they come down and raid us. So we get a battle against the Ottomans here. Quite experienced force. Lots and lots of cavalry. So, but I do outnumber them 2-1. These hand mortars, they're deadly, so we gotta keep an eye on those. Other than that, there's nothing really to say, besides, let's throw them back across the mountains. The battle is about to commence with a whole load of crazy enemy cavalry charges. I've made a line with 2 units each, 2 units deep I should say, with grenadiers all the way in the back. Okay, so I thought he was going to advance into us. He's actually making a line right through here. I've ordered the cannons to specifically target the hand mortars. I don't think we're going to be able to do much damage to them, so what I will do is I'll redirect the cavalry to come through here as soon as possible, so that we can... I don't think they're gonna be in time, so I'm gonna deploy these towards the center. We'll have to open up a space there for them to come through, and I will actually advance to open this space up so that my cavalry can come out and get those guys, because as we've seen, hand grenades are really deadly in this mod, and the fact that these guys can fire them from quite a considerable distance is quite concerning. There's a lot of cavalry here, so we'll see what happens once I start to fire at them. We have some troops firing off the muskets over there. There's quite a lot of... The Ottoman armies are very heavy on the cavalry. What I'm going to do is we're going to fire like that, and now I'm going to get the secondary line to come through and then fire, and I'm going to get my 2 grenadier units to organize here, and then these 2 cavalry units will move to the gap here, ready to charge across. Now we're switching to the fully reloaded unit that's moving through, and they're about to fire, and then these cavalry units will come through here and sweep down against the enemy. There goes the second round of volleys. The lines behind are not ready to fire, but we've done considerable damage to the enemy. I need that cavalry here yesterday, because these guys are soon within range. This line is holding. Oh, now they're coming in for the attack, which is good that they're breaking their formation before my cavalry gets here. Okay, the hand mortars are getting really close. I'm gonna order my guns to focus in further back now, as there's a risk of us shooting our own. High infiltration by, or going through, penetration I should say, perhaps, of that unit by the enemies. I'm going to order a second line to open fire. Otherwise it looks fine here. Here comes... oh! My heavy cavalry was dispersed by the Turkish Tatars. Oh, the hand mortars just went... They went in to do just hand-to-hand combat. The unit in front has lost a lot of men. But it looks like we're winning there. And it looks like I'm winning here. And this guy has rallied. So now I want these to come through here. Perhaps actually it's all heavy cavalry. Maybe not the best to start chasing these guys down. What I want to do is get these 2 cavalry units in the back of these, so we can break that. Alright, counter charge, because perhaps these are about to throw the grenades. And I want secondary line to join in that charge. Let's quickly counter charge that. We have archers from Aleppo. Let's have the cavalry continue onto that. And then have the cavalry continue on to this. Right, the grenadiers were overwhelmed by the 2 units that charged out. Let's form line again and open up. And then you 2 can come up right behind there. Could be that my cavalry now is a little bit overextended. Something that is overextended is there's a big gap that's kind of formed here. So I'm going to order up the grenadiers to take the spot there. I cannot call the cavalry back just yet, or not all of it anyways. Let's call this infantry unit back. And then have the have these 2 cavalry units charge through, and then they can try and sweep the enemy guns. Very few of the enemy units stand. Unfortunately, we're kind of in a protected cavalry battle there, which is probably going to cost me more troopers than it's worth. Grenadiers don't get a clear target as the cavalry moves through. Now, perhaps. Grenadiers only fire first line. That's not inspiring. One of my cavalry units, the same one that was routed in the beginning, got routed again. Perhaps by friendly fire. But that's something we won't mention in the reports. Right? Right? I saw you put down the pen immediately. Right. Pretty painless. We, while some of our units, I mean these heavy cavalry units, it's the first battle they took part in, and wasn't that great that I forgot to actually order them to do a charge on the enemy cavalry unit. And now my cavalry is finding their enemy cannons. They have 2 cavalry units riding about, which I've ordered the cannons to focus in on. We have archers of Aleppo as well. As soon as the enemy gets close to the lines here and they're ready to open fire, that should wipe these Turkish lancers out. We'll fire on them while they're in the open. I don't know why you're taking so long to get out of the way. I wonder, this is something that I've thought about, because I don't know how it's set up. I think it's when they make the mods so, you know, 2 units standing right in front of each other, and they fire and they kill like 5 each on either side. I wonder if those mods, they have to switch where the bullets go, and I wonder if they send them high rather than sending them low. And so we saw a pretty darn good range, heavy losses, and I wonder if that's due. Oh, that's a there's a hidden unit of Bosnians hiding behind the cannons, which annihilated the household cavalry. It's a trap. It's a trap set by the enemy. I'll have to re-recruit that unit, because now that's completely gone. We'll reorganize the cavalry, set it up on the hill. I'll go after the Bosnians, and the Serbs will be happy, and I will be happy that they're gone, and that's the battle. Right, wonderful. And the archers of Aleppo are, I think they're done, right? I don't think they're gonna do anything more. And there we have it! The second battle of this video. Here's the result of the battle. We lost 745 men out of 6,660. 666. The something. There's a 0 on the end. Doesn't count. Against 3,000 Ottomans, of which they lost 2,200 roughly. So we are left with an army of only 6,000 men, and they have 744 leaving the field. Unfortunately for me, one unit, of course, was ambushed by the household cavalry. Was ambushed by the Bosnian troops hiding in the woods there, and they killed everyone except 4. So that unit is unfortunately gone, and I'll have to recruit a new cavalry unit for this army. Oh, this unit, the Russians recruit a load of these. Have I done a technology that has allowed me to get these troops, or is it just this area? It's this area, I think. I don't think I can seemingly recruit them anywhere else, but just here in Ukraine I can get the elite guards at 125. Is that's further than my normal units, right? Yeah, 5 points higher. It's actually good to go through this list sometimes, because you might find that you have strange recruitments available in areas that you don't know about. Okay, there's no real and other interesting unit. I think we'll streamline what type of cavalry we have for this army. So it would be another royal regiment. It says we have 4, so I can't actually get another royal regiment. So it's a heavy cavalry unit. Well, the household cavalry is better, but I don't think they really fit. Their uniforms are that of the standard game, and they're sort of a generic-ish uniform that doesn't really look like anything historical. So I'm not going to recruit any more of that. Let's see if we can't relieve the siege up here. And then, of course, chase down if there's Russians up here. And I'll call it a video after that. So far, so good. I am a little bit worried about going into the woods here with the Ottomans, because could be quite dangerous. Now, I'm sure there's a rebellion brewing here that will kick in anytime soon, and aiding that rebellion would be a rather good plan, because I don't want to border with the Ottomans if their intent is to attack me. So it would be nice to have a buffer state here, so that we can go back to have our lucrative trade instead. And with that said, let's go ahead and end turn and see if the Russians want to charge the walls of Moscow. Well, wouldn't you know it, the Russians do charge the wall, and now when I actually see their force, 3,100 men, it looks like Russian George Washington, sort of ish. Or do I just say that because he's kind of slightly in profile and he's got a white wig? I don't know, could be both. I actually outnumber them with 800 men, mostly because they've brought a lot of artillery. And normally the AI just abandons their artillery and try to climb the wall instead. So that's pretty good, and they've brought the thing that bulks out the army and gives it some numbers is cavalry. In fact, there's quite a bit of cavalry here, which is not that good either. So I think we have a pretty good chance at winning this battle. And with that said, let's go ahead and prepare the defenses and throw the Russians right back out into the wilderness. And so the storming of the fort is well underway. You can see troops have closed in quite a bit. I have placed bombs outside and I've placed spikes inside. I've managed to get all my troops inside. And the enemy's bombardment is doing quite the numbers on my wall sections. Let's see if we can't catch some of these enemies on the bombs. I have placed grenadiers in the corners, in these 3 corners, and then we've got troops stationed along the walls. Oh, this is already down to 71%. Do they die if the corner... I mean, the corner piece doesn't completely collapse, but maybe it's not a great idea to have the grenadiers stationed on top of it while it crashes down. It's down to 88%, 89. This 34. This one's about to go... Oof, it just went to 50. Troops are fine on top of it, but this is about to break. Ooh, good hit with the grenades. Took out the corner of that unit. 39. This is okay for now. They're standing on top of the bomb. How is it not going off? Oh, and I thought I was so clever because the AI always goes to the sides and set up their attacks. So I figured, you know what, if I set the bombs there rather than head on, they'll probably trigger it. Somehow the AI has been able to avoid all my bombs. Doesn't matter too much because my grenadiers are doing great work at breaking down the enemies that are coming close here. Let's make sure that everyone's at stand ground. Not that stand ground is as... Oh shit, now this one's down to... Both these staircases are now broken. If I want my units to still be able to come down from there, I need to move them. There! And right in the unit as it retreats. Fusilier Marines! Go screw yourself. Right, everyone away from that corner because another bomb went off. This down is 96%, this is 60, this one's 100. Oh, the grenadiers just managed to get away. But now we've got a hole straight into the fort, as that section has completely opened up. Almost. If this falls as well. I do think they're aiming for my units though, rather than aiming for sections of the wall. Like their cannons are firing at my units. If they blow this up, they lock a lot of my units on top of there. Alright, I have tons of engineer units in here. Let's get the general unit inside that one, and then I want one in there. And then the remaining units should form up in the courtyard. A little bit all over the place. Something like that to start off with. They're trying to climb here, but they're climbing against the elite squadron. However, that's my grenades. That is not enemy cannon fire. Right, the cannon fire have subsided. They're not putting down as much effort as they used to. I would say though that oh yeah, it's because they're aiming right here at after the grenadiers, and this part is, you can't actually break that. You know what? Throw a few grenades down there. I'm sure the pikemen will love that. Blow a few of them up. Force them away. Dismounted hundreds. You would think that there would be a cavalry rush. Ooh, another bomb went off. You would think there would be a cavalry rush to get in here. Unless, of course, they're clever and they want to take the time to create war holds, but they're not actually firing at the wall sections, they're firing at units on the wall. A lot of their infantry is gone. Besides, like, the troops that are climbing over here. Maybe I should order the elite unit to actually actively seek to fight the guys on there. And I could order the grenadiers to turn around a little bit. Like that. So as to fire from the wall here onto the flank of the enemy. Should work, right? Even though it's just the first part. It's, oh, they're aiming for that. They're firing at that corner. Oh, here's some units that might be trying to get in. And I have one unit lined up to fire at them. So far, it seems like a lot of these cannons are firing at the units here, which saves a lot of my wall sections. Finally, this part retreats. I'll order the units just to hold rather than before they start to climb down after the enemy. See if we can shoot them down. So, let's see. We've had 3 bombs go off. I have additional 4. That was a lot of fire. Why don't you... Oh, some of them are inside. Let's see if we can't get this one a little bit closer. Throw some grenades. One unit's inside. I'm gonna turn this unit. Let's turn it up like that. Start firing at that area. The thing though is, if I try to move my units, we are actually losing quite a bit of percentage here. We need to get these guys out of the way before they start tearing that part of the wall down. Or like, properly tear it down. Alright, you are free to fire at will. And absolutely tear these guys up. And then the windows break. And that unit starts opening up fire. And my grenadiers have been throwing at these. We've got a second unit coming up. You may throw on them as well. The problem here is, since the wall section is open, I need to defeat like everything. They're holding back a unit of bombardiers. I'm gonna have to send units out to go after the enemy, which is gonna be a problem. Because we're gonna face a massive amount of explosions in doing that. Now, you throwing grenades after that, you should be throwing grenades at these guys that are just down below. Putting down a tremendous amount of fire here. They've even done 50% of the little gate. Oh! Are they gonna... Horse archers are gonna try and come inside. I've plenty of defenses ready though, if they come that close. Oh, they started to throw some grenades here. The horse archers though is doing quite the numbers on the grenadier regiment, where I'm losing quite a few of the grenadiers. Oh, now they're trying to force their way in. Not going too well. The infantry units were taken out. The grenadiers can now switch to hitting the cavalry. Right, they don't really have... Oh, they're gonna break that pretty darn soon. I'm gonna get these guys down into the courtyard. This unit doesn't need to be up there. That one can go down into the courtyard as well. I am firing a few shots away with the guns towards these, but not really doing anything. I think it's time for really everyone to abandon the walls, and I need to figure out a strategy to concentrate my troops into a formidable attack plan to get at the sieging guns. And here's the result of the siege defense. They deployed 3,100 men against my 4,000 men. They ended up losing 2,300, leaving about 800 men left after the battle. I ended up losing 2,000, leaving me with about 1,800. It sounds a bit weird because I obviously don't do the exact numbers because that would be strange, but somehow in there that we seem to have lost 200 men. But I think most people watch this so they can read the numbers themselves. Not very many, I imagine, listen to my videos. But what I can see is the enemy killed 1,300. And I apparently lost over 700-800 men more than what they killed. I think a lot of that, though, is due to, like, I know a few of them at least died on the wall. I don't think I shot that many of my own, over 800. Which would be rather embarrassing, because that's close to a third of the casualties that would have been killed by my own force, almost. It would be! Wait, 700 is a third. Almost a third. Right. Nothing more to be said about this. The Russians seem to be setting up to burn every single settlement within the Moscow region. They've burnt yet two more areas. And I get another priest. What a surprise. We are recruiting Priests by the dozen. I think it's probably easiest to ferry him across with the galley and get him to where he's needed, which would be probably down here in western Ukraine, where there's only but 2% Protestants. Right, we saw off this force. However, there's a new force ready to lay siege. What I need from this force is probably I would need to get a... I wonder if I merge all of these, do you think I have time to recruit new forces that will come online, as it were, before these guys lay siege? Or should I just wait for Charles's force? The town is right there. If I go through the town, will I get... I got a little bit of extra speed boost through there. I'm one turn away from reaching Moscow, so I think we'll just go ahead and resupply these forces before we go ahead and start sending out or cleaning off all the enemies in the area. Otherwise, it looks fine. Armfelt, perhaps should be ordered across the mountains and to 19 religious unrest. Orthodox against Muslim, I guess, gains a lot of minus points. More so than... this was kind of mixed. There was a lot of Orthodox here as well, so it wasn't just Islam. But looks like there's no longer going to be a revolt here. You know what? I will push through and lay a siege there. Let's see if I get ambushed in the woods. It's only a small wooden fort, which should be easy enough for my demi cannons to completely break that apart. So it should be fine. Charles's army is more than enough to destroy what's left of the Russians here, and then he will be heading off far, far out in the east. I mean, the Russians, they're gonna be so far into nothing that we'll hardly remember them. Poor little capital all the way up here. Anyways, let's not drag this out. We've done plenty enough in this episode, and the last one was like over an hour long, so should really perhaps make these a little bit shorter, but you know, I want to achieve something in the episode as well as show you as much as possible. But enough is enough, and I will say, like I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.